FM 94, The Dark, Jay-Z hanging out at Halfway Jam, and the band Dollskin just finished up playing. And, well, I have the whole entire band right now here in their luscious RV, we'll call it. Absolutely. We got Sydney, Alex, Megan, and Nicole. And, of course, you can all tell by the hair color, so that's the easiest part, I think, for it. I'll have Sydney first. I had a chance to talk with you that's the first of the year in that, and so we've had an opportunity to chat before on the airways, but let's just get the experience of what you had today out at Halfway Jam.
It was, like, amazing. Like, that's really one of the only words I can use to describe it, because it's kind of overwhelmingly amazing. You know, it's our first like super big festival that wasn't just playing for a couple hours before some other big band in Phoenix. We opened for Social Distortion a while back, but this was like our first kind of big festival, and it was an amazing experience. The people that were all here helping us out were really amazing, and the crowd was like killer. The crowd was awesome because they all kind of migrated from the big stage to our stage, and it was awesome. It was really fun.
How about for you, Alex? Of course, this, as you mentioned, Sydney just mentioned, maybe the first time you've kind of played in some kind of a setting like this. I mean, you had the Social Distortion setting, but what was it like for you to play out there?
Oh my God, it was so energetic from beginning to end. You know, as the crowd was building, it's like we still had this super, what's the word I'm looking for, contagious energy on stage. It's like I just remember like looking at Nicole and we're like, all right, let's get this going. So it's like we had this energy the whole time. It was super cool. It's like I think that's kind of like a festival vibe. It's like there's just people everywhere all the time, so much going on, so it's like we felt that on stage.
You know, I know the one thing that's hard coming to a festival like this is there's a ton of bands, and the headliners obviously people are coming for. But I was out in the crowd today, and I talked to a few people that I knew, and they said, wow, this is awesome, this kind of band, kind of an up-and-coming band that you are. And obviously, you're the eldest, and we're talking right now with Megan here, of course, the drummer of that. I guess, what's it feel like to be kind of an up-and-coming band right now?
Oh, that's a really good question. It feels like we are following like these, other bands' tracks. We're all kind of really young, and when people like come to see us, they're just like, and they're females, and they look like they're in their 20s. But then like when people hear our ages, it's like a whole different level, and I find it really inspiring that this is what I do for my life, this is what I do for my living, and I feel like with our new album coming out, we're gonna just start trucking along even more, so yeah. Awesome.
And of course we got to bring in, last but not least, Nicole. And Nicole, obviously your chance to play here today at Halfway Jam. What was the experience like for you, I guess, up on stage playing in front of a lot of people?
I would have to agree with what Alex said. Really energetic, just like such a fun vibe going on. Like I was looking across the crowd at people's faces, and they were just like jamming along. I saw so many people like turning to their friends and like nodding their heads, like, "Oh, these girls rock!" And that's like my favorite reaction, honestly. And then we had a really big compliment too. The security guy, one of the security guys, came up and bought a CD of ours, which I feel like is just the biggest compliment in the world because they always listen to so much music all the time, and when like they actually like you, it's like, hey, they've heard a few bands here and there, and like they actually really enjoy you. So I've had an amazing time here. The crew that's been working at the stage has been awesome. The other bands are really friendly. People, really nice, awesome. They've been into us. It's cool. It's really
very cool. Very cool. Now, obviously, you guys were founded. I got the story from Sydney, out of the School of Rock in Phoenix, and the bassist of Megadeth, David Ellison, heard about you guys and kind of took a liking to you. And I talked to Sydney before. Has he had a chance to help you out in the industry since he's had so many years? And the cool thing about David is he's a Minnesota boy. So, us Minnesota guys, we're pretty nice.
Yeah, what he likes to say is he gets us in the door and we do the rest. He really opens a lot of opportunities for us, and we like to take it one step further and impress the people that he gets us to talk to, and like take it the step further that he knows that we can take. He puts all of this faith in us and all of this time and effort into us because he knows what we can do, and he believes in us, and we are hopefully living up to that expectation and that belief that he has in us.
It's hard to. I sit back here. I have two twin daughters that are 12 and a 10-year-old, and I kind of know how their life is, and just talking with you just in this short time, the maturity level of what you guys are, and I'll ask this question to you, Alex, is it sometimes hard to change going from being a kid to now being up front in front of many people?
Sometimes, absolutely. There's been occasions where I catch myself like joking with somebody else, and we're just being absolutely ridiculous. And I turn around, I'm like, oh, it's like business time. We should not be doing this. Yeah, it's just kind of weird finding that balance where it's like, okay, it's time to work, and you kind of have to step up and be an adult sometimes. But I'm like, we're all still teenagers, so it's kind of weird finding a balance sometimes.
And that's the question I have. You're teenagers. Do you get to be kids still? And I mean, Megan, I know you're 19 years old, but you're still young. You're still a kid. Do you guys have fun?
Oh, yeah. Don't listen. Okay, you can tell from what she just said. Honestly, when on and off the stage, it's joke, bam, 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 bam. It's just like, and it's all just really stupid humor too. So it's just
Horrible humor. It's not funny.
yeah. It's just lots of fun 24/7. And there are times when we'll be like, Megan, calm down and clean your bed. And like, I'm like, okay, all right. But that's usually the goal. But like,
Megan, please.
but it's all really good fun, especially with Dom here.
Oh, no.
Goodness. Yeah,
Man.
he ups it but 20-fold. Like, we're just still energetic, and I may be the really old woman here, but you guys just make me feel so young.
Megan is the baby of the band.
Well, I know that on stage you guys kind of said the maiden of the band, and that being her. Does she kind of have a little bit of a mother role? And of course, I know yes and no, because when we walked in here, obviously we got to meet one of the mothers of you, so which is cool. So what was that like, I guess, to have Mom along with you on this trip, Megan?
I love having Mom on me with or this on. Who am I talking about? I love having Mom with me on this trip. I didn't get to see her for a while. It's been it's been like a week, but it's still a while for me. And, all the moms in this general area are just fantastic. The general vicinity. Yeah, and I love, like, Nicole's mom. It's just, they always bring a really positive vibe on tour. And, and, like, they're moms. They're just, like, making sure everything's nice and clean, and they're getting everything.
And then we eat real food.
Yeah, and then just, like, let's eat some nice, healthy food. We're like, yes! Because
His mom cooks healthy breakfast every time.
Yes.
yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's always just really positive energy, and they always just like, know the business side of things, and I love moms.
Nicole, is it tough for your parents to kind of let go a little bit, to let you be on the road? I mean, my wife is standing right over here, and I don't think she would let our 3 daughters go out and do something like this. But exactly. So is it tough, though, to have, obviously being on the road away from your parents, and for that matter, just being out as a kid?
Personally for me, it's not tough. Like, I used to go away for like a month for like sleepaway camp, so like I'm used to being away. But like, I think for my parents it's a lot tougher because I'm still like their little baby, Like, I think that set goes for like all of our parents. They all like want to be with us all the time. They really support us 100%. Like, we have the most amazing support from my parents. But like, they want to come on the road too. Like, they have fun. Like, they really enjoy it. My dad actually just left this morning. He was on tour with us for like about a week, maybe less than a week. I don't know. But like, they all rotate through and come on tour because they really enjoy it, and like, they don't want to let us go, but like, they're really proud of us, what we're doing, so it's awesome.
Awesome. We're talking with Dollskin. They're at Halfway Jam. They just finished up here on Saturday playing the second stage, and they had a hell of a show. And the one thing I will notice, that we've mentioned that, the youngness of them, but you don't play like you're young up there. You play like veterans. And even your mouth, Sydney, a little bit becomes, I've heard a few Effenheimers, too, up there. We're on commercial radio, so we can't say anything beyond that. But where did that come from, I guess?
I mean, it all started one day when I met one of my friends in one of my neighborhoods, and we would throw around a little Stewie doll, and we'd literally say "friggin' Stewie" and throw it all over the place. And then slowly, my parents started getting like less and less strict about me cussing. I know, this is a story.
I've never heard this before.
It's not a very frequent story that I tell. It's a weird story. But it kind of, my parents were like, they just let it start happening, and watching TV nowadays, it's kind of hard not to hear those words, and like listening to music and all that fun stuff, it's kind of hard not to hear those words and not want to use them, and it kind of just happens. We've had many instances where I just kind of, it comes out and I can't stop it.
Well, of course, you're at a rock show. It's not like it's Disney or something. So,
And like the energy of it kind of gets to you, so you're just like, blah! You want to like blurt out the most powerful thing you can think of. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, what's it like being on tour with OTEP? I know before we started the interview here, I kind of asked you that, but what is it like being out on a tour with somebody that's been around the business for a long time? And I'll ask a couple of you. First, start with you, Alex. What's it like being out with them right now?
I mean, first and foremost, it's a ton of fun. Her band and her crew and herself, absolutely amazing people, just wholesome people that actually enjoy our company and that we feel like, yeah, they hate us. I feel like a lot of them are just kind of like big kids themselves, so it's like our energy kind of plays off of, their energy, I guess. OTEP tends to keep to herself a little bit, but the couple times we have talked to her, she is absolutely just so nice. She's like, everyone calls her mom. So it's like she is kind of like this quiet, like motherly figure. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. I wish we could talk to her more. She seems really cool.
Well, maybe you have to have that happen here. I know you still have a few more dates with her yet, I believe, coming up here and that. And I'll ask you this question for, obviously, Megan. What is the future of Dollskin coming up here? It sounds like you have a CD coming out in the works here.
Yeah, we definitely are gonna go home, sit down, and just write and record and write and record. It's just go over and over and over. I've been writing a lot of lyrics personally, so I think that's like a good starting point, but we have a great concept that we're working on for our new album, and it's really motivating us. So, we're getting excited with like the album cover, and we're just getting inspired, and it's going to be a really fun process. So it's like record, hopefully tour some more, and then like work, and then record some more. Stop it. Stop mocking me. She's mocking my hand gestures. But yeah, it's just constant Dollskin all the time for us.
So you're telling me this is what I got to look for when my girls turn to teenagers now?
What happens, Chester? This is what happens.
Minus the cursing.
Minus the cursing. Well, that happens in my house just as much. I'm going to ask you this question, and it's about basically the van here you got here. Exactly. I'm going to give it to Nicole. Who is the cleanest and who is the messiest on this tour so far?
Okay.
And maybe there's some dirty laundry to put out here. I don't know.
Does Dom and parents, are they in this? Or
No, we're just going to say with the 4 band members. I mean, Dom, he seems like a cool guy, but he's kind of Uncle Dom, we'll call him, right? Is that what you're calling him? Okay.
Okay, I'd say Megan is the messiest because she brought like 7 duffel bags on tour and like didn't unpack any of them and just like doesn't really fold things, but like they're all organized but like really unorganized, and it stresses me out. The closet, it's just Megan's shoes, basically, and, like, a bunch of her jackets, and it's just this big pile, and anytime she wants to get something, she has to take absolutely every single thing out, and she's like, I'm destroying the closet, everyone, just letting you know, and we're like, Megan, not again, please organize it.
So who's the cleanest?
Who is the cleanest? I'd say, like, we all are pretty messy, I'd say. We all leave our stuff around a lot. I think we, like, switch through. Yeah, like, sometimes one of us is cleaner than the others. Like, sometimes I go really, like, organizational. Sometimes Alex is, sometimes Megan is the cleanest. Like, it literally just depends. She's just unorganized. But sometimes she's the cleanest. We don't know. I don't know.
Let me ask this question for you, Sydney, and we'll finish this up here. How about the vibe of Dollskin? What are you hearing across the nation right now? I know in Minnesota, I know Mankato and Jeff has got you guys on. We have you on the airwaves, too. Kind of what are the vibe you're hearing right now out there about your band?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of positive stuff out there about us, which is really cool. Whenever there's any negative stuff, it's always, like, really quickly, I don't know, changed. Like, we change a lot of people's, like, minds a lot, which is really cool to see, because, like, people will see us in the crowd and they'll see us setting up and they'll be like, oh, this is interesting, this will be an interesting. Yeah, today everyone was, like, standing there, like, walking over from the big stage, coming to our stage to watch us. And when we were doing sound check too, people were, like, staring at us, and there was this one guy who were like, you guys should change your names to
Hot Girls Who Play Music?
Yeah, Hot Girls Who Play Music.
We didn't ask you.
Yeah. But I feel like, I didn't see him in the crowd, but I feel like if he would have heard us, he would have been like, oh, okay, well, they can actually play music, so that's pretty cool. Because a lot of times that's what happens, people hear us and they change their minds, which is really awesome to hear. But we are slowly but surely getting a more solid, positive name, and people are quicker to realize that we're not just, I don't know, just this girl band, like, shtick, like, we're not just, I
You're
don't
more
know,
than
yeah.
just a gimmick, is what I'm trying to get you saying.
we're more than just a gimmick. I was trying to remember the word, but that's exactly it. We're not just a gimmick. We're musicians, really. You know, like we're not a girl band. We're not girl musicians. We are musicians.
Absolutely. I know you and I have had a chance to talk about that in the past, kind of what you grew up with and all that, and kind of you look up to. So we won't, I guess, bore the fans with that anymore. But I guess the last question I'll have to ask you, and I'll just ask Sydney, and we'll have you guys say a final thing, though, is I guess if they want more information about Dollskin, find out more about your music, how can they do that?
Well, we have a website, dollskinband.com, and all of our social media is either at Dollskin Band or like on Facebook, it's just Dollskin Band. We have Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and Tumblr. You could just look up at Dollskin Band, and it's all on there. And we're all on iTunes, Best Buy Online, all that stuff, Amazon Online. You can get it from all those cool places, and our music and our merch is also on our website.
Awesome, awesome. And I guess last but not least, what do you think of Minnesotans and the experience that you had here today? And I'll go right down the list here. So I'll start with you, Sydney.
It was fun. Everyone's really nice, except for that one guy who said that we should change our name to Hot, or Hot Girls Who Play Music.
Awesome. How about you, Alex?
First and foremost, the weather is so much better than Arizona's right now.
Yeah.
It's been lovely and beautiful, and everyone has been super nice.
Cool. Megan?
Everyone's really friendly, and the hotel we're staying at is fantastic. What is it, a Best Western? I don't know. It's just great. I just like
Luxury compared to what we've been staying
Alex
at.
and I walked in and we're like, do you see where we are right now? It was beautiful. I had a really good burrito today. Like, that's what I would say about Minnesota. Good burritos. Thank you, everyone.
Nice. And that was the voice of Nicole. Sydney, Alex, Megan, Nicole, thank you so much for this interview, and best of luck to you in your future.
Thank you!
Thank you.
Once again, that is the band Dollskin.